to my ranking member Whitehouse for his opening statement.
Thank you, Chairman, for this hearing today. Thank you, Assistant Secretary Tell and Lieutenant General Graham, for appearing. As you know, one of my most vexing problems, one the Corps has refused to remedy, is chronic underfunding of coastal storm risk management projects. For my ocean state, that's a bad situation. With flood risk on the rise nationwide, coastal areas face the most severe increases due to rising sea levels and more frequent extreme rainfall events. In First Street's National Flood Risk Assessment, coastal cities outrank inland cities by all measures of substantial flood risk. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office has determined that the share of properties exposed to flood risk in coastal communities is more than twice that of inland communities. And coastal communities are projected to see even sharper increases in flood risk over the next 2 decades. Greater flood and storm risks are in turn contributing to a property insurance crisis that threatens to trash our entire economy. When risk makes property uninsurable, the property also becomes unmortgageable. Without mortgages, property markets crash. And as we all saw in 2008, when property markets crash, so does the economy. Despite this dire situation, coastal storm risk management projects year after year receive between 20 and 100 times less funding than inland flood risk management projects. That simply isn't good enough. The Corps needs to tackle problems like this one head-on and embrace reform. Assistant Secretary Tell, I supported your nomination and confirmation because I know you understand and appreciate the critical role that congressional oversight plays in ensuring that federal agencies deliver for people. I value your commitment to maintaining an open line of communication with Senator Capito and me, and particularly appreciate your willingness to engage with committee staff on a regular basis to keep the Corps accountable. In prior testimony before this committee, you spoke of your formative experience helping to secure funding and resources for the state of Mississippi's recovery from devastating effects of Hurricane Katrina. And you know from experience managing the FEMA portfolio for the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee that disasters do not differentiate between red and blue states. Under your leadership, I expect to remove the political bias so blatant in the Corps' fiscal year 2025 construction work plan, which shifted over $250 million in construction funding from blue states to red states, completely eliminating funding for 4 critical California flood risk management projects to fund navigation projects in Texas that did not even make the cut in the Corps' fiscal year 2025 budget. Assistant Secretary Tell, I expect you to put an end to that. Egregious partisanship does not serve the Army Corps, and it does not serve the American people. I also expect to see progress on project delivery. Cost escalations and delays are pervasive, recurring issues in the Corps' Civil Works construction program. The Trump administration's attacks on the federal workforce have only made these problems worse. In just a few months, people call it Doge, I call it Doggy. Doggy's deferred resignation program and voluntary early retirement have hollowed out Corps offices so that across the agency, workforce reductions undermine mission execution. Some Corps district offices have lost as much as 20% of their staff, and all have likely lost expert personnel. The prolonged Trump hiring freeze is exacerbating the staffing shortage. As a result of this doggy-driven chaos, Corps offices are either deferring work, contracting it out at a higher cost, or paying employees overtime to complete it, all while continuing to pay salaries to employees who, under the DRP, no longer report for duty. This is not just a matter of workforce morale. The DRP has actually jeopardized mission-critical operations and increased project cost. Assistant Secretary Tell, General Graham, you have your work cut out for you. I look forward to working with you and hope that you will acknowledge the challenges, roll up your sleeves, and work cooperatively with this committee to address them. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you.